Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Paper Guy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
So, Mr. Magazine, I was watching your friend and mine, Orlando from Pure Hustle Podcast. Do check it out if you haven't. And he mentioned on his live show that he doesn't think that is anyone who buys things anymore, a reseller, who buys things anymore without comping everything before buying them.
I don't know if that's 100% accurate. I think some stuff, you must know some things in the hobby that you don't need to comp, I'm assuming. So, like, if something comes in, you've already had it, you know the value, why would you comp it? So, it can't be that. But, again, at this point, like, I would have a rough idea of what some things are worth if it's in my fields that I've, experienced over the years. Even an accordion. Say I've sold 10 accordions in 10 years. I know they're between $50 and $200 at least. Some names may be more common. If it's a name I didn't hear of, maybe I'll comp that. But for the most part, I probably comp half or less, maybe. Mm-hmm. Some things, they could be board games, and the guy's got 10 board games. And I'm like, most board games are $5-10. I don't know. I'm not going to comp every board game because I know pretty much the average going rate on them, unless it's a rare one. If someone comes in with, the Kreskin, I know Kreskin's common, but Beretta, maybe that's a little more, some rare movie or something, but I would say half or less I would run comps on.
And maybe it's because of how I buy. I tend to buy house calls. Mm-hmm. I tend to buy flea markets. I tend to buy estate sales.
I know where you're going with it. I was just going to add to that, though.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, like, someone comes in with a Hot Wheels collection from the 70s, they're all loose, and there's 500 of them. I'm not comping them all. I'm going to give a price that, hey, if there's red lines or a couple of red lines and they're mint, maybe I would do those. But for the most part, you got 500. Well, usually I paid $1 to $2 in the past from the 70s in decent shape. $1,000. Whatever. But yeah, anything in bulk, you're not comping. Someone comes in with 100 of anything, you're not comping it. You know what I mean? It just, it wouldn't make any sense.
Well, Mr. Magazine just stole my thunder, so do hit the like button if you could, and we'll see you next video.
See the light bulb. See it? See it there?
I would say I probably comp under 5%. Maybe 1 out of 100 items I comp.
Right.
And again, if I'm at a house call, they want the stuff gone, and either I'm buying it all, or I'm just taking things that I've had before I think can sell, things that look interesting, and I know I'm not paying more than $10 for a box of stuff.
Right.
A box of books that I make up. That's what I'm paying.
Yeah.
I'm barring they've got all Easton Press or they've got all something really, really good. It's a different story. But if it's just the typical stuff that you find in somebody's library and they're like, fill up boxes, get what you want out of here.
Yeah, and it can be time consuming. If you think, like, I buy 5 buys a day from people coming in and they have 10 items each, that's 50 items. Well, even to look up 50 items could take me 30 minutes, and I should, by this point, if the repeat customers especially, I should know what's coming in and what I'm going to offer them, or ask them originally, what do you want? And if it sounds reasonable, why would you look anything up? If it sounds out of line, then okay, let me look a couple things up. But and I could see certain types of resellers have a high percentage of comping, like these book people with the barcode scanners or whatever, and the guy that comes into my shop all the time, taking pictures of comics and looking them up. Well, they're only going to buy things that they know that's part of their job, and they don't mind doing that for an hour or 2 hours, whatever it takes. But and they're only doing ones with the barcodes. And they're leaving you the juice because they know nothing about it, and you can take advantage of the older stuff.
Yeah, and I guess part of it as well just is, again, if, as you mentioned, if I go to the person's place and they've got, or, I go to the flea market and the guy's got stuff for, 50 cents each, 3 for $1, how much do I really have to comp? I've been doing it.
Right, exactly. Well, yeah.
I've been doing it almost 30 years.
Yeah, if you're filling bags, and every time you tell us you filled a bag for $5 and you're getting 100 or 200 out of it, I don't think you need to comp anything in the bag.
So, and again, part of it might be what I'm buying versus what other people are buying.
Yeah.
I would think if you're buying video games, you might have to comp. And I think another thing with certain markets, we'll take video games as a good example, is the market might change. And I'm thinking if I were doing more modern sports cards, I probably would have to comp things.
Right.
Because, again, I don't know what a Fleer Flare, I don't even know if that brand's around anymore, but a Fleer Flare 1 of 10 Victor Wembanyama, whatever his name is.
Right.
I don't know what that's worth. I don't know.
$1 million.
Exactly. But, I don't know that stuff. So, and I might have looked it up a month ago, and it might have been a $10,000 card. Now it might be $6,000. Now it might be $15,000. I don't know.
Yeah, but it could be something like a toy that's loose. Say you got this rare Star Wars figure that's, geez, I know that's worth 200 loose. It could be worth 500 carded or 5,000 carded. So something like that, you want to do some research on. If it's something rare and you know it's worth hundreds of dollars, yeah, it's worth it. But when you're dealing with $5 to $25 items,
if they have it priced at $400, you want to do that research.
Yeah, right.
If they have it priced at $10, I'm not researching anything.
No, right. Yeah.
I'm just
I'll
buying
take
it.
Yeah.
I'm just buying it and getting the heck out of there.
Yep.
Because the worst thing you can do at that point, honestly, is research it.
Right.
The guy's like, "What are you doing?"
Right.
Oh, that's not supposed to be for sale. As soon as he takes a look at your phone and sees 500.
Yeah, some guy came in today, older gentleman, and I don't know how he found me with records, but he goes, "I heard you buy records." I go, "Well, not so much anymore. Mainly rock, jazz, whatever." So he comes in, and it's like 70s stuff. It's not great stuff, but he's got 100 records. I said, "I really don't buy this stuff," but I knew there was like a few $20 ones, and I go, "I give you $20. I don't expect you to take it. I'll give you 20. But go across the street. I know this guy deals them." He goes, "Okay." 5 minutes later, he comes back. He goes, "I'll take the 20."
Wow.
So the guy across the street who deals more in records really had no money or didn't want to mess with it. But I knew I could put a few Elvis or Frank Sinatras on and get my money back. And then you still got 95 of them. So even if 20 out of that 95 or $10, I'm still making some money.
Right, right.
I didn't want them, but I took them.
Right.
And they're in my truck if you want them.
Yeah, so that was kind of interesting and really it got me thinking, and it has to be the product mix. That absolutely is what it has to be. Because, again, the stuff that I buy, and I guess the other problem is, I'll give a perfect example. I was buying, when I went to Madison Bachville, $18.95 tickets for Dexter, New York, to the Grand Ballroom, a dance.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, $1 each, $1, and then I got a little less. What am I copying that on?
Well, I was just going to say, I don't know what they're worth, but I would say 25 to 50, right? I mean, if someone wants one, they would have to pay that. So do you want to flip them for 25 or hold out for 50? I mean, then they offer you 40 2 years from now. It's up to you. But, I mean, it's got to be $25 minimum per ticket,
But what am I copying those on?
Nothing. I wouldn't even waste my time. Yeah, exactly.
Because there aren't any others in existence, probably.
Yeah.
And so that's where it comes down to. I think it comes down to the product mix. It did get me thinking, though, about that, about how, whether it's because I've been doing this so long, whether it's because I pay so little on stuff just because, the dealers just want to dump stuff on me. They're happy to see it gone. They don't respect paper.
Right.
Or whether it's because it's paper. I'm not sure. One of those three reasons, 99 times out of 100, I just don't comp anything. I just really don't.
Right, but even with the records, I knew 20 was a deal. I don't need to comp records, but you're not going to start looking up records. I would know that it's a deal. I've done enough of this before that I know, even if it's super low, it's a deal. If he takes it, fine. If not, I'm not going to lose any sleep without him.
But now if the guy came in with rare records, he goes, "These are all rare records. I need $1,000 for these 100 records." You're getting a heck of a deal.
It's funny.
You're going to start comping.
Because some guy did come in shortly after with 10 records, and they were all rare, like punk and stuff like that. And I think he wanted 60 or 70, and I think I go, I'll go 5 a piece. I'll give you 50. He goes, "Oh, that's fine. I'll take 50." But I didn't have to comp him, but I knew this. I bought from this guy before a few times, and I know it's always good stuff. It's always rare, obscure records, and I know if he says he wants 50, they're worth 3 times that. So.
Right. So do comment down below about when you comp, if you comp out there, and I guess if you do comment on Orlando's videos over on Pure Hustle Podcast, you can tell them you've found a couple of resellers that don't comp everything.
You got to get them down here with us, and then we can tell them face to face. Don't comp.
Well, there you go. All righty, hit the like button if you could, and we'll see you next video.
Take care. Bye bye.